what I'm going to talk about right now is of some of the living systems principles that have been informing the design of Holo and Holochain. And it's not an exhaustive list, but it's a list I wanted to present to you because it will start naming what are our intentions, how is the kind of the social fields we would want to create, what is the ethics behind it, what moves us to the core. And then we'll have the opportunity to go into the design of Holo and Holochain itself. One of the first principles I want to talk about is mutuality and cooperation as we see it in every interdependent system, where fitness comes from contributing to the whole as well as getting your needs met. So we constantly say, and I get this from Art, he says, get mine and grow ours. And ours, we mean the commons, that which no one has created, like our natural resources, and that which everyone has created, like we're creating Wikipedia. What if we would have a different type of Wikipedia that would be distributed? How would that look like? What kind of mutuality and cooperation would it need? What kind of distributed governance would it take? And we, as well, in mutuality or cooperation, and we have here in the audience people that are already thinking about their own communities as networks that would have their own distributed ecosystem, their own distributed application ecosystem for their own members to be able to be free agents, to be able to create their own membranes on how they want to interact, their agreements, their own laws, their rules of the game, and their own governance. So that's a wonderful principle of nature that we very much align with. Diversity and uniqueness. So ecosystems thrive in diversity, and this is not because diversity is morally good. That really, like, ecosystems do thrive with diversity, but they also have very specific uniqueness and a high coordination of this uniqueness. So one of the things that we want to see is that we have different economic spaces and different ways of sharing applications, and that people can find what is the fit of their own fit within those applications. They have to choose where do they interact, where do they play. So, the acorn doesn't grow in the snow and the redwood doesn't grow in the sand. So you go and find the people and the applications where you're most able to thrive. And we are focusing very much on that because we want every individual to be a full citizen, both with rights and responsibilities. And these responsibilities are not an unreasonable burden, but they are something that people are accountable for. We want sovereign, accountable individuals that can together create the commons, and that we can actually be moving to democratization of power. So people powerful, not because they have to take power, but because they're powerful and they thrive within systems that allow it. And this is one of my favorite, and this is the third one I'll mention, which is one of the deep principles of metacurrency, which is deep wealth. We say deep wealth is not tradable. And as you can read this, we say wealth, there's a very specific well-built-in pattern in the hearts of nature economic system that is key for its success. So it's like, saying that wealth is money is like saying that bees are about honey. And we know that these little guys, they work so hard and they're responsible for the whole food system. It's incredible, the wealth that they create. And is in these terms, wealth is a health pattern of our collective. And for us, and those that have been following a metacurrency for a while, currency is actual currency. It's a way to make visible, to enable, and to shape a flow. And as Art shares about cryptocurrencies, give some of your attention to what kind of flows do certain cryptocurrencies enable. And in our distinction, currencies are way more than just tradable wealth or products or services. And we know this. We have how reputation currencies are part of very large amount and constellation of different types of currencies, because we can have wealth that is measurable, or wealth that is tradable, or wealth that is just acknowledgeable, like my deep friendship with many of you, or love that we hold for each other. So that is our levels of, a little bit of insight into our levels of wealth and how we define currency. That's definitely for another session. But I did wanted to present that as one of the things that makes us be super inspired on living systems, because as well, Holochain and Holo are creating, we don't say, oh, we're inspired by it. No, we create based on it. And there's deep thinking and that is going through all our systems so that we can truly create life and not destruction and death.